Listen carefully, because what I'm about to say might change how you trust forever. Imagine for a moment the weight of those words not just spoken into the air, but sinking deep into your bones, shaking the very foundation of how you see the people around you. Loyalty, it's a word we hear all the time. We throw it around like it's something simple, something easily given and received. But loyalty is far from simple. It's one of the rarest gifts a person can give, and even rarer to receive in return the way it's meant to be honored. Think about the last time you truly gave your loyalty to someone, maybe a friend, a partner, a family member, or a colleague. You didn't just say, "I'm here for you." You meant it. You put your faith, your belief, your time, and your trust into their hands. You stood by their side when it was easier to walk away. You believed in their intentions even when doubts whispered in your ear. That's loyalty. It's not just a feeling, it's a decision, a daily act of commitment that says, "I'm choosing you," even when the world might not. But here's the bitter truth many of us learn the hard way. Loyalty is not always returned with the same sincerity. Instead of standing beside you, some people will turn their backs. Instead of protecting your trust, they will twist it, betray it, or ignore it completely. The ones you thought would never lie to you, those you believed had your best interests at heart, sometimes become the very source of your deepest wounds. It's painful, isn't it? It cuts through the soul like a knife, leaving scars you don't show to the world. Why does this happen? Why do some people repay loyalty with lies? The answer is uncomfortable but necessary. Loyalty is powerful. It builds bridges, creates bonds, and offers stability in a chaotic world. But it's also a test. When you give your loyalty, you're vulnerable. You're exposing your trust, your belief in another person's character. And vulnerability can be exploited by those who lack integrity, or who see your loyalty as a tool to be used for their own gain. Think of it like this: when you give loyalty, you're handing someone a key to your inner world. That key opens doors to your hopes, your fears, your dreams, and your weaknesses. Some people cherish that key. They guard it, honor it, and keep it safe, but others, they use it carelessly. They might unlock your trust only to steal from it, stealing your confidence, your peace, or your sense of security. That's the betrayal of lies. It's the cruel game some play, taking something sacred and treating it like a commodity. But here's what many fail to understand: loyalty is not weakness. It's not blind obedience or naive devotion. Real loyalty comes from strength. It comes from understanding the value of trust and the courage to give it, even when you can't be sure of the outcome. It takes guts to stand by someone when the path is uncertain. It takes heart to believe in another when your own doubts scream loudly. That's the power of loyalty, and yet when lies replace honesty, it diminishes the very essence of loyalty. It turns something beautiful into something toxic. It plants seeds of doubt where there should be faith. It shatters trust into a million tiny pieces that take years to gather again. You might ask yourself, why did I give so much to someone who never deserved it? The answer lies in human nature. We want to believe. We want to see the good in others because deep down, that's how we hope to be treated in return. But learning that loyalty can be met with lies is a painful awakening. It forces you to reevaluate who you trust, how you protect your heart, and what you demand from those you allow close. It challenges you to be more than just loyal. It challenges you to be wise, to understand that loyalty without wisdom can lead to heartbreak, to realize that it's okay to set boundaries, to say no, and to walk away when the lies become too much. In the end, loyalty is a gift you give to yourself as much as to others. When you honor your own loyalty, you honor your own worth. You learn to expect truth and integrity in return because you know what it means to give your whole self. And if someone cannot meet you there with honesty, respect, and fairness, then they do not deserve your loyalty. So listen carefully again. Loyalty is sacred, it's rare, it's powerful, but it's also fragile. Guard it with your heart and your mind. Give it to those who prove worthy, those who protect it as fiercely as you do. And never settle for lies in exchange for your loyalty, because you deserve a truth that lifts you up, not a deception that tears you down. That's the lesson worth holding on to, because once you understand that, you begin to see the world and your place in it with clearer eyes. Loyalty. The word itself carries weight, depth, and a kind of sacredness that's hard to capture with just a few syllables. It's more than just sticking around when things are easy or convenient. True loyalty means standing firm when the storms rage, when the world around you seems determined to tear everything apart. It's the quiet, steady force that says, "I'm with you no matter what." And that kind of loyalty, the real kind, is one of the most valuable things a person can give or receive. To understand loyalty, we have to peel back the layers beyond the surface. It's not about blind allegiance or unconditional submission. It's not about following someone just because they say so or because you feel obligated. True loyalty is earned, nurtured, and chosen again and again. It's a commitment that grows from trust, respect, and shared values. When you are loyal, you are saying more than just "I'm here." You're saying, "I see you, I believe in you, I will stand by you even when it's hard." There's a beauty in that. When someone gives you their loyalty, they are handing you something precious, something that can't be bought or replaced. It's a pledge that they will walk beside you through life's challenges, that they will defend you when others doubt, and that they will be your anchor when the tides pull hard. This kind of loyalty is rare because it requires vulnerability. It demands that you open your heart and trust someone with parts of yourself you usually keep hidden. It's a leap of faith, but one filled with hope and belief. But what makes loyalty even more powerful is the fact that it is a two-way street. It's not just about giving loyalty, it's also about deserving it. You see, when someone offers their loyalty, they are also giving you responsibility. They are trusting that you will honor it, protect it, and cherish it. And that's no small task. Loyalty asks us to be better friends, better partners, better leaders. It calls us to show up consistently, to be honest, to be dependable even when it's inconvenient. This is why loyalty is such a foundation for relationships, whether personal, professional, or communal. Without loyalty, trust begins to erode and connections start to crumble. Loyalty builds the bridges that link hearts and minds. It's the glue that holds teams together and the mortar that binds families. It creates a sense of safety, a sanctuary where people can be themselves without fear of judgment or betrayal. And when loyalty is strong, it fosters an environment where everyone feels seen, valued, and supported. But here's the thing: loyalty is also fragile. It demands care and attention. It's not something you can give once and then forget about. It requires consistent effort, communication, and sometimes sacrifice. It asks that you prioritize relationships over convenience, truth over comfort, and commitment over fleeting feelings. When loyalty is treated casually or taken for granted, it loses its meaning. It becomes a word without weight, a promise without power. That's why understanding loyalty means recognizing its depth and honoring its demands. It's about knowing that loyalty is not just about showing up on the good days, but staying through the hard ones. It's about listening when someone needs to be heard, standing firm when challenges arise, and offering forgiveness when mistakes happen. Loyalty is the balm that heals wounds and the light that guides us home. Emotionally, loyalty touches the core of who we are. It feeds our need to belong, to be accepted, and to matter. When we experience loyalty from others, we feel seen in our entirety, our strengths, our flaws, our fears, and our dreams. It affirms that we are worthy of trust and love, and when we give loyalty in return, we find purpose and meaning beyond ourselves. We become part of something bigger, a bond that transcends circumstances and time. In a world that often feels uncertain and divided, loyalty stands as a beacon of hope. It reminds us that connection matters, that people matter, and that commitment matters. It teaches us that while betrayal and disappointment exist, so do faithfulness and integrity. And when we grasp what true loyalty means, we begin to understand the profound impact it has on our lives and on those around us. So when you think about loyalty, don't reduce it to a simple promise or a casual word. See it for what it really is: a deep, powerful force that shapes who we are and how we relate to the world. Honor it, cherish it, and remember, true loyalty is a gift that both demands and deserves respect, care, and unwavering commitment. Because loyalty, at its core, is love in action. There's a harsh reality that many of us face at some point in our lives: the painful truth that loyalty, the very thing we hold dear and offer freely, can often be met not with gratitude or respect, but with lies. It's a bitter pill to swallow, a wound that cuts deep, and yet it's a lesson that shapes us in ways we never expected. When you give your loyalty to someone, you open your heart and your trust to them. You believe that they will honor that trust, that they will stand by you with honesty and integrity. But sometimes, instead of standing beside you in truth, they choose deception. They choose to lie. Why does this happen? Why do people betray the loyalty they've been given? At the core, it comes down to a few painful realities about human nature and relationships. Some people are driven by selfishness, by fear, or by insecurity. They see loyalty not as a sacred bond, but as an opportunity, a chance to manipulate, control, or gain advantage. When someone lies to you after you've been loyal to them, it's often because they are protecting their own interests at your expense. They fear vulnerability or consequence, so they hide behind falsehoods. Lies come in many shapes and forms. Sometimes they're blatant and obvious, a betrayal so clear it's impossible to ignore. Other times, they are subtle, wrapped in excuses, half-truths, or silence. What makes them so damaging is that they break the foundation of loyalty, trust. When trust is shattered by lies, the whole relationship trembles. You start to question everything, every word, every promise, every gesture. The person you believed in suddenly becomes a stranger, a puzzle whose pieces no longer fit. The emotional toll of this betrayal is immense. It's not just about the act of being lied to, it's about the ripple effects that follow. You feel confused, hurt, and often ashamed. You wonder if you were naive, if you misread the signs, or if you should have been stronger. There's a deep sense of loss, not only of the relationship, but of the belief you held in the goodness of others. It shakes your faith in people and sometimes in yourself. What makes it even harder is the silence that often accompanies lies. When someone lies to you, they are not just hiding the truth. They are shutting down communication, closing doors where once there were open windows. The questions you want to ask go unanswered. The explanations you seek are never given. This silence becomes a void where doubt grows and where loyalty slowly withers. But here's the painful irony: the more loyal you are, the more vulnerable you become to lies. When you give your loyalty fully and without reservation, you place your heart on the line. You trust that the person on the other side values what you offer. When that trust is broken, the wound feels deeper than any other betrayal. It's a betrayal of your spirit. Yet, this harsh reality is also a crucial teacher. It forces you to look more closely at who you give your loyalty to. It teaches you that loyalty must be paired with discernment. It is not enough to be loyal, you must be wise about where that loyalty is placed. Not everyone deserves it. Not everyone is worthy of the sacred trust you offer. Recognizing this does not mean becoming cynical or closed off. It means protecting yourself from needless pain, understanding that your loyalty is a precious resource to be guarded, not squandered. There's also a lesson about resilience here. Even when loyalty is met with lies, you have a choice about how you respond. You can allow that betrayal to define you, to make you bitter or withdrawn. Or you can choose to learn from it, to grow stronger in your understanding of people and relationships. You can choose to carry your loyalty forward, but with new wisdom, knowing that your loyalty is not a weakness but a strength, as long as it is given wisely. Emotions run high in this territory. There's anger at being deceived, sorrow for the lost trust, and sometimes fear that it will happen again. But there's also a deep well of courage, the courage it takes to keep loving, keep believing in loyalty, even after it's been broken. Because loyalty, when given to the right person, becomes a force that builds, heals, and empowers. It's a gift worth giving, but one that demands respect. So when you think about loyalty being met with lies, remember this. It's a reflection not of your failure, but of the other person's choices. It's a call to protect your heart and to be clear about who earns your loyalty. It's an invitation to grow wiser and stronger, to expect truth as the only rightful return for your trust. And most of all, it's a reminder that your loyalty, when honored, has the power to change lives, starting with your own. Knowing how to recognize false allies is one of the most difficult and important lessons life can teach you. When you give someone your loyalty, your trust, your belief in their character, you expect honesty, respect, and support in return. But not everyone who walks beside you carries those same intentions. Some people wear masks, hiding their true selves behind smiles and sweet words, only to reveal their true colors when your back is turned or when it suits them best. The hardest part is that false allies are often the ones closest to you, the ones you would never expect to betray you. At first, it's subtle. The signs are quiet, almost easy to overlook because you want to believe the best in people. Maybe they miss a promise here or there. Maybe their words don't quite match their actions. Perhaps you notice a pattern of excuses or a hesitation when you ask for honesty. These small cracks in the facade are warnings, but our hearts often convince us to ignore them. After all, who wants to face the painful truth that someone they trusted might not have their best interests at heart? False allies thrive in that space of uncertainty. They rely on your loyalty and goodwill, taking them for granted because they know you want to see the good. They may act like they care, but their actions betray a different story, a story of self, interest, manipulation, or even betrayal. Recognizing this requires courage because it means facing a reality that might hurt deeply. It means acknowledging that loyalty, when given too freely or without caution, can be used against you. The emotional turmoil this creates is intense. You feel confused. How could someone so close be so dishonest? You might feel anger, betrayal, sadness, and sometimes even self-doubt. You question yourself, did I misjudge them? Was I too trusting? Could I have seen the signs earlier? These questions swirl in your mind, making it harder to accept the truth. But recognizing false allies isn't about blaming yourself. It's about learning to protect your heart and your peace. One of the clearest signs of a false ally is inconsistency. They say one thing and do another. They promise loyalty, but act in ways that harm or disregard you. They might support you when it's convenient, but disappear or turn cold when you need them most. Their loyalty is conditional, not genuine. They might also gossip behind your back, undermine your efforts, or use your trust to gain something for themselves. These behaviors are toxic, and the sooner you recognize them, the better you can protect yourself. Another warning sign is how they respond to your success or happiness. A true ally celebrates your victories and stands with you through challenges. A false one might show jealousy, resentment, or indifference. They may try to diminish your achievements or make you feel unworthy of your own happiness. This kind of behavior is a clear red flag that loyalty is missing, replaced by envy or insecurity. Boundaries are a powerful tool in recognizing false allies. When someone consistently ignores your limits, disrespects your needs, or pressures you to compromise your values, they are not an ally. Respecting boundaries is a cornerstone of loyalty. If they don't honor yours, it's a sign they do not truly respect or value you. Learning to spot false allies doesn't mean closing yourself off or becoming suspicious of everyone. It means developing a healthy balance of trust and discernment. It means asking yourself difficult questions. Does this person show up for me consistently? Do their actions match their words? Do they respect my boundaries and support my growth? If the answers are no, it's time to rethink where your loyalty goes. The emotional journey through recognizing false allies is challenging but also freeing. It's painful to accept that someone you trusted is not what they seemed, but it's also empowering to reclaim your power and protect your heart. It allows you to clear space for genuine relationships built on truth, respect, and mutual loyalty. Remember, loyalty is precious, and it deserves to be guarded carefully. False allies drain that precious resource, leaving you vulnerable and hurt. But when you learn to recognize them, you take a vital step toward healing and growth. You create boundaries that keep your loyalty safe and your spirit strong. Ultimately, recognizing false allies is an act of self-love. It's choosing to honor your worth and refuse to settle for anything less than honesty and respect. It's understanding that your loyalty is a treasure, not a right to be taken lightly. And when you surround yourself with true allies, those who meet your loyalty with the same integrity, you build a foundation of strength that can withstand life's challenges. So trust your instincts, pay attention to actions over words, and don't be afraid to walk away from those who do not deserve your loyalty. Because in doing so, you protect your heart, nurture your spirit, and open the door to relationships that truly honor the loyalty you give. The cost of giving your loyalty to the wrong people is heavier than most of us realize until we've lived through it. It's not just about feeling hurt or disappointed. It's about how that misplaced loyalty can slowly drain your energy, cloud your judgment, and even steal pieces of your identity. When you invest your heart and trust in someone who doesn't deserve it, the consequences ripple through every corner of your life, your emotions, your relationships, and your growth as a person. Imagine giving your loyalty to someone who turns around and uses it against you, someone who lies, betrays, or manipulates. At first, you might brush it off, telling yourself it's just a mistake, that things will get better, or that they didn't mean to hurt you. But as the lies pile up and the betrayals deepen, something inside you begins to crack. That crack grows into a fissure, and suddenly the foundation you built your trust on starts to crumble. Emotionally, this kind of betrayal is devastating. It feels like a punch to the gut, the shock, the disbelief, the pain. You might feel anger burning inside, mixed with sadness and confusion. The person you trusted most becomes the source of your deepest wounds. You replay moments over and over in your mind, trying to understand where you went wrong or what you missed. But the truth is, the fault doesn't lie with you. The cost is theirs to bear for choosing lies over loyalty. Beyond the emotional toll, there's a practical cost as well. When your loyalty is given to the wrong person, it can lead to wasted time and lost opportunities. You might find yourself stuck in relationships or situations that drain you instead of uplift you. You spend energy defending someone who doesn't deserve your effort, energy that could have been invested in your own dreams, your own growth. This is the silent thief that steals your potential without you even realizing it until it's too late. The damage extends to your self-worth too. Being betrayed by those you trusted shakes your confidence. You start doubting your ability to judge character. You question if you are too trusting or too naive. This self-doubt can become a heavy burden, making it harder to open up to new people or build new connections. The fear of being hurt again creates walls around your heart, isolating you from the very loyalty and love you once gave so freely. And yet, the most heartbreaking cost is how misplaced loyalty can dim your spirit. You might begin to believe that loyalty itself is dangerous, that giving it is foolish. You might close yourself off to meaningful connections, convincing yourself that it's safer to stand alone than to risk being betrayed again. This retreat from loyalty doesn't protect you, it limits you. It keeps you from experiencing the depth of human connection that gives life meaning. But here's the truth that can help you heal. The cost of misplaced loyalty is not the end of your story. It's a chapter that teaches you important lessons about boundaries, trust, and self-respect. When you understand the price you've paid, you gain clarity about what you truly deserve. You begin to see that your loyalty is a gift, and like any gift, it must be given wisely. Healing from the cost of betrayal means reclaiming your power. It means forgiving yourself for trusting not because trusting was a mistake, but because sometimes we can't know who is worthy until the truth reveals itself. It means learning to set boundaries that protect your heart and choosing relationships that honor your loyalty instead of exploiting it. There's also a profound strength that comes from rising above the pain. When you've been hurt by misplaced loyalty, you develop a sharper sense of discernment. You learn to listen to your instincts and to value actions more than words. You become more resilient, able to face life's uncertainties with a steadier heart. This strength doesn't erase the pain, but it makes you wiser and more prepared for the relationships that truly matter. Remember, loyalty is a powerful force. When met with truth and respect, it fuels growth, builds trust, and deepens connection. But when met with lies, it costs you more than you realize. The emotional weight, the lost time, the shaken self. These are all prices too high to pay again. So, protect your loyalty fiercely. Give it to those who prove themselves worthy, who return it with honesty and integrity. Your loyalty is part of who you are, a reflection of your heart and your values. Don't let the cost of betrayal dim that light. Instead, let it teach you, strengthen you, and guide you toward relationships that lift you up. Because, in the end, loyalty given to the right people becomes one of life's greatest blessings, a source of strength that can carry you through even the darkest times. True loyalty is one of the most precious and powerful forces in our lives. When it's genuine and mutual, it creates bonds that can withstand the toughest storms. But that kind of loyalty doesn't happen by accident. It's built over time, nurtured by consistent actions, honesty, and respect. It's the fruit of effort, care, and intentionality. Understanding how to cultivate true loyalty is essential if you want to experience the depth of connection that loyalty offers, a connection that uplifts, empowers, and endures. First, true loyalty requires honesty. This might sound simple, but it's one of the hardest things to practice consistently. Honesty means telling the truth, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient. It means being real with people, sharing your thoughts, feelings, and intentions openly. When honesty is the foundation, loyalty grows because both parties know where they stand. There are no hidden agendas or secrets that can tear trust apart. Honesty invites vulnerability, and vulnerability is the soil where loyalty takes root. But honesty alone is not enough. Loyalty also requires respect for each other's boundaries, values, and individuality. When you truly respect someone, you honor who they are, even when you disagree or face challenges. Respect means listening deeply, valuing their perspective, and treating them with kindness. It means not taking their loyalty for granted, but instead appreciating it as the gift it is. When respect is present, loyalty feels safe and nurtured. Consistency is another cornerstone of true loyalty. It's not about grand gestures or flashy promises. It's about showing up day after day through good times and bad. Consistency means being reliable, dependable, and steady. It's the small acts of kindness, the follow-through on promises, the willingness to stand by someone when life gets complicated. When people know they can count on you, loyalty blossoms because trust is reinforced again and again. True loyalty also demands forgiveness and grace. No relationship is perfect, and people make mistakes. When loyalty is real, it means being willing to forgive those mistakes and to extend grace. It means understanding that everyone is human with flaws and imperfections. Forgiveness doesn't mean ignoring hurt or allowing betrayal, but it means choosing to heal and rebuild rather than giving up. Grace is the gentle balm that helps loyalty survive the inevitable challenges of life. Communication is the lifeblood of loyalty. Open, honest communication keeps the connection alive and strong. It allows misunderstandings to be cleared up before they fester. It helps build deeper understanding and empathy. When you communicate openly, you create a space where loyalty can thrive because everyone feels heard and valued. Without communication, even the strongest bonds can weaken and fray. Another vital aspect is mutual support. Loyalty flourishes when both parties are committed to lifting each other up. It means celebrating successes together and standing firm during struggles. When you support someone truly, you become their safe haven, someone they can rely on without hesitation. This mutual care creates a powerful sense of belonging, a feeling that you're not alone no matter what life throws at you. True loyalty also requires patience. Building and maintaining loyalty takes time. It can't be rushed or forced. It grows slowly through shared experiences, trust earned, and challenges overcome. Patience means allowing relationships to deepen naturally without expecting immediate results. It means giving people the space to grow and evolve while maintaining your commitment. Emotionally, cultivating true loyalty is a deeply rewarding journey. It invites you to be vulnerable, to trust, and to love with your whole heart. It challenges you to be honest, patient, and forgiving. And in return, it offers something priceless. A connection that feels like home, a bond that gives you strength, and a relationship that nurtures your soul. But perhaps the most beautiful thing about true loyalty is that it transforms not only the relationship but the person who gives it. When you cultivate loyalty in your life, you become more compassionate, more trustworthy, and more grounded. Your capacity to love deeply grows, and your sense of purpose expands. Loyalty becomes more than just a word, it becomes a way of living, a commitment to integrity, honor, and care. In a world where trust can sometimes feel fragile, cultivating true loyalty is an act of courage and faith. It means choosing to believe in people, to invest in relationships, and to hold fast to values that matter. It means being willing to stand firm when things get hard and to celebrate when things go well. And when you nurture true loyalty, you create a legacy, a circle of connection and trust that can carry you through life's inevitable challenges. So take the time to cultivate loyalty in your life. Be honest, be respectful, be consistent, communicate openly, support others genuinely, forgive with grace, and be patient as loyalty grows. Because true loyalty is not just about giving, it's about becoming. It's about building relationships that uplift and endure. It's about living with a heart open to connection, trust, and love. And that kind of loyalty is one of life's greatest treasures. Healing and moving forward after your loyalty has been met with lies is one of the hardest journeys you will ever face. But it is also one of the most powerful opportunities for growth and renewal. When someone you trusted betrays you, it feels as though the ground beneath your feet has given way. You are left stumbling in the darkness, wounded and unsure of where to turn. The pain of betrayal cuts deep, not just because of what they did, but because of what it means about trust, about human connection, and sometimes about yourself. Yet, in that deep place of hurt lies the potential for incredible strength and transformation. The first step toward healing is to allow yourself to feel. It's natural to want to push the pain away, to pretend everything is fine, or to bury the hurt beneath busyness and distraction. But true healing comes when you confront the raw emotions, anger, sadness, confusion, disappointment, without judgment. Cry if you must, write down your feelings, talk to someone you trust, or simply sit in silence with your pain. This is not a sign of weakness, but a courageous act of honoring your experience. You must face the storm inside before you can find the calm. Forgiveness is often misunderstood as condoning the betrayal or forgetting what happened. But forgiveness is actually a gift you give to yourself, a way to release the heavy burden of resentment and bitterness that can trap you in the past. Forgiving someone who lied to you doesn't mean you erase the lessons learned or allow them back into your life unchanged. It means choosing peace for your own heart, freeing yourself from the cycle of anger that only harms you. Forgiveness is a process, not a single moment, and it requires patience and grace with yourself. Healing also means reclaiming your self-worth. When loyalty is met with lies, it's easy to question your value, to feel unworthy of honesty and respect. But remember this, your worth is not defined by how others treat you. It is inherent, unshakable, and true. Reconnect with what makes you whole, your passions, your strengths, your dreams. Surround yourself with people who uplift you and honor your worth. Invest in yourself, whether through self-care, learning, creativity, or simply quiet reflection. This is how you rebuild the foundation of trust, starting with trusting yourself. Another vital part of moving forward is learning from the experience without letting it harden your heart. The pain of betrayal teaches valuable lessons about who to trust, about setting boundaries, about listening to your intuition. But these lessons don't have to lead to cynicism or fear. Instead, let them deepen your wisdom. Let them sharpen your discernment so that you can recognize genuine loyalty when it appears again. Your past does not have to define your future. It can guide you toward better, healthier connections. It's also important to remember that healing is not linear. Some days will feel like progress, while others will bring fresh waves of hurt. This is normal and okay. Be gentle with yourself through this process. Celebrate the small victories, moments when you feel lighter, when you smile again, when you set a boundary or open your heart a little more. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a triumph. Surrounding yourself with true allies can accelerate healing. Seek out those who demonstrate honesty, respect, and consistency, the kind of people who mirror the loyalty you aspire to give and receive. Their support becomes a safe harbor where your trust can be rebuilt. They remind you that loyalty, when genuine, exists and is worth believing in. Lean on these relationships and nurture them. They are the antidote to the lies that once wounded you. Ultimately, healing after betrayal is a reclaiming of your power. It's a declaration that you will not let the lies of others define your story or diminish your capacity to trust and love. It's choosing to rise above pain and to live boldly with an open heart, despite the risk. This kind of strength is rare and beautiful, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. As you move forward, carry with you the knowledge that loyalty is sacred. It deserves to be guarded, but also freely given to those who prove worthy. Keep your heart open but wise, your trust measured but courageous. And remember that the deepest loyalty you will ever experience begins with yourself, your commitment to your own truth, your healing, and your growth. The journey from betrayal to healing is not easy, but it is one of the most transformative paths you can walk. Embrace it fully with all its pain and promise. Because on the other side lies a stronger, wiser, and more compassionate you, someone who knows the true value of loyalty and the power of living with integrity and grace.